Hey, Tim here. Before we begin our exploration of the Matrix, I wanted to take a moment to thank two companies that have been there for us since the beginning and really enabled us to pretend to be real podcasters. The first is Podcorn, and they're basically a marketplace that connects podcasters with a ton of sponsorship opportunities, such as host-read ads, interviews, product reviews, and more. You as a podcaster have complete control over who you pitch to and set your own rates. And we have successfully secured multiple sponsorships over the last couple months, even though we just started podcasting this year. I strongly recommend Podcorn to every podcaster out there that is looking to monetize their show. I'll have a link to their platform in our show notes and on social media for you to see for yourself. I also wanted to take a moment to thank Ko-fi for providing an amazing platform for us to grow and connect with our listeners. One of the things I love about Ko-fi is that they do not take any cuts of your pledges or donations at all. But really, what I really love about them is that they're connected to their community in such profound ways. You can also take advantage of their Ko-fi Gold membership option to use a ton of advanced features such as offering commissions, accepting monthly contributions, additional customizations, and they just recently added a platform for selling your own products. And also, if you've been following us, you may have heard that we're going to be having some fun over the next couple months and allowing you to participate in our popular over-under game for a chance to win some prizes. Ko-fi was the first to step up, and they're offering someone a 12-month gold membership. So check out both Podcorn and Ko-fi if you're looking to take your podcast or creativity to the next level. And with that, let's go learn some Kung Fu.
In a world of big-budget blockbusters, travel back in time to explore the epic and not-so-epic movies of yesteryear. Join Tim, Chris, Dana, and Spaz on their adventures through Nostalgia Land. This is On Second Watch, a movie nostalgia podcast.
So today we are reviewing 1999's science fiction action film, The Matrix. Get ready. This is directed and written by the Wachowskis, starring Keanu Reeves, Laurence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Hugo Weaving, and I'm really gonna mess up this guy's name, Joe Pantoliano. Did I say that right?
Close, yeah, it was good.
Pantoliano.
There you go.
Yeah. So how about we go around the virtual table? If you can remember, let's say your favorite quote from this movie, and tell everyone how long it's been since you've seen it. And I'm going to start with Dana.
You may have to answer about when we saw this last, because I know I watched it with you, but to me it seems like it's been a very long time. I don't have a quote except, oh.
That's a good quote.
That is a good quote.
If I had to guess, the last time I saw it with you was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm going to go off of that because I don't remember. It's been a really long time. But I have seen this more than once, so.
This is true.
I should get bonus points for this.
You do have that going for you. All right, so let's, how about Dan? When was the last time you saw this? And a favorite quote.
I love me some Joey Pants, so ignorance is bliss. Booyah. Eats a nice piece of steak. Love it. I gotta say, I think it might have been 2004, 2005, somewhere in there.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, might have actually been 2003. I think I was still in high school. I think it was last year high school I saw it. It was a long time ago, for sure.
Fair enough. Chris, how about you?
Let's see. Probably 5 or 6 years ago. I know I tried to watch it again the past year, but I got distracted. So I made it about 20 minutes into the movie. But yeah, it's probably been several years that I've watched it. And then quote-wise, God, I don't even remember half of the quotes. How about the cliche one, I know Kung Fu?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest one of all.
Let it be cliche. It's amazing.
That's what everyone defaults to because,
Yeah.
And I can't remember any of the other ones.
Well, I think the last time I saw this was, I mentioned it last episode, all three of the Matrix trilogy ended up on Netflix last year or two, and I watched them all back to back. I don't remember why.
Because it was there.
I felt like it was necessary.
I feel like it's because you hate yourself.
I had to become Neo.
You had to become the one.
Yeah. So yeah, it was probably in the last year or two, maybe two, as time flies right now. But this is a very quotable movie. Not that I can recall any of them right now, but
Open your mind.
it's Free Your Mind.
Oh, free your mind. Oh, I knew it had something to do with it.
Close. Probably. You think that's air you're breathing?
Yes. The look that he gives to after he says it. It's fantastic.
It's great. Yeah.
There is no spoon.
Ah, yes.
That's another good one. Yes.
Hey, that's like the only two apparently I remember.
That's okay. You know, spoon and kung fu. What else?
I know spoon fu. Terrific.
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
This movie had a budget of $63 million, and it made just over $465 million in the box office.
Damn.
Yeah, it was quite enjoyed. It currently sits on IMDb at a rating of an 8.7 and rated number 16 in the top movies of all time, which I think is still 3 clicks below Inception. And one of the things I was doing when I was doing some research on this movie was I Googled Inception and Matrix because I was curious, since both of them are very mind trippy in a way. And there's apparently a lot of comparison between the two. I think I pulled up like hundreds of articles of people on, whether it's on Reddit or some other pages, asking about the comparison, and some people drawing conclusions that that Inception is actually a prequel to the Matrix. Reddit's a weird place.
No.
Portrait second life right there.
Right.
I get bored easily.
Yeah, so does most of the internet.
So yeah.
But it was it's interesting the conclusions that you can draw. And this movie, like Inception, it kind of changed the game for action movies and kind of how they do things, how they film, trying something new, kind of challenging to think a little bit differently. But we can definitely dive into some of that after we rewatch it. But let's talk about our experiences watching this for the first time. So Chris, let's start with you. What do you remember watching this for the first time? I think actually me, you, and Spaz were all together.
That's right.
Yep.
We went, I believe, in 99, right?
Yeah.
We went. My dad took us. I think it was I want to say when it came out, it was near my birthday, so he took us for my birthday.
It did come out in March, so yeah, that would align.
Oh, yep. There you go. That's why. Then okay, yeah. So yeah, that's the first time I saw it. All of us, pretty much.
Yeah, that was
Is there anything you remember that just why it might have stuck out in your head a little bit?
Well, I mean,
because you went with us, Tim.
No, you're forgettable. You're forgettable.
Oh, ouch. I need some Neosporin for that burn. Oh.
I'm trying to think. Spaz's burning apparently is catching me off guard here.
There's lots of different
take that as you will. I think what just like I remember it so well, and to me it stuck out, is because of how different it was, I think, to a lot of things at that time. I mean, the bullet time, the hacker-esque dystopian. I mean, we've had similar movies, not like that kind of action, but like, we've had hacking movies, we've had action movies, but the way they blended it, I think, with everything, and just, I don't know, it was just so different from anything I've ever seen beforehand. So it really stuck out to me.
What about you, Spaz?
Frankly, just all the fight scenes, the choreography, that was just awesome. Like Chris was saying, we never saw that type of fighting before. And obviously, something's good when you get spoofs and all these other, and you can see the fight scenes in all these other movies that they're taking it from because they know it was awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, just the choreography of all the fighting, it was awesome.
Dana, can you recall the first time you saw this?
Yes, I know it was 8th grade. I got grounded after seeing it.
Oh, okay. Pray tell.
Yeah, that's gotta be a good story.
I don't know if I really want to get into it on the podcast, but I did get grounded shortly after seeing it.
Oh man, she did something dirty.
No, I got grounded a lot in my life, so no.
You're welcome for one of those times.
Yeah, thanks a lot. No,
You're welcome. Wasn't that 2 weeks I got you grounded for?
At minimum.
Yeah, that was a good time.
So, just for posterity, I think Spaz, you drove over to Dana's house in the middle of the night and were screaming.
You. Yes.
You were screaming obscenities really loudly.
Yes.
Yeah.
At like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's par for the course with him.
That's what I do. That's who I am.
Yeah.
It's
but
like a
I got
weird
grounded
parent.
for it. So, whatever.
Well, I did my job. I did my job.
So
I know,
Dana
man.
got grounded for white lying
Without-
to her parents about seeing
Yeah.
this movie with people she shouldn't have been seeing it with.
Yep.
And
Thank you
yeah,
for putting it in better terms than I
You're-
would have.
you're welcome.
But I mean, I do remember the movie being really awesome. I think I was impressed, kind of mind blown at the time. But I was also in 8th grade, so I don't know if it took a lot to blow my mind at that point either. So, but I mean, I obviously enjoyed it quite a bit. So it was, I mean, overall memorable for many reasons.
Yeah, and I think so seeing it with seeing any movie with Chris and Spaz is a trip anyway. But we saw this, and I remember being extremely confused with everything that was going on. It like I don't know, I couldn't follow a lot of the story. It started getting a little bit confusing to me. So I believe I went back and saw it like a week later in theaters again, just because now I kind of knew the concept and how it all played out. But you guys are right. From choreography and a technical aspect, this movie was groundbreaking in the things that it introduced. Kind of taking, kung fu is not very common in big blockbusters, especially in the 90s. It was more like a joke, but this was taking it very seriously and reaching a broader audience. And what they did especially with wire fu, it wasn't really in American movies. It was a lot of the the kung fu stuff in
Right.
Asian movies, but this was the first time it was really widely used in such a profound way in an American movie. And I think it kind of changed how people approach movies in this side of the world. And also, like you guys said, the bullet time and a lot of those special effects that were never done before, it was copied and copied and copied to the point that it's not. I think it took a year before it was just not unique anymore. It wasn't cool because of how overdone it was.
Yep.
So by the time Matrix 2 came around, you're like, oh yeah, seen it way too much. But it was still just the first time you see that, you're like, what the heck, man? How'd they do that? But it's really cool. And I personally really enjoy a lot of the attention to the sound. The sound effects especially are great in this film. I don't know. I think all of it just comes together so nicely that it was just a lot of fun. So I put the call out to see if I could get some nostalgia from others, and quite a few people had some things to share. One of the podcasts that I talk to quite regularly is a podcast called Talking Shiz, and they left us an audio recording.
So you want to talk about The Matrix. I mean, what has not been said about The Matrix? The Matrix in the late 90s was the best film. I mean, even for the whole 90s, The Matrix was one of the best films. The effects was awesome. That was revolutionary. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's that the whole effects has been replicated ever since. Keanu Reeves did a fantastic job. The movie was great from start to finish. The sequel is not so great, but during like the first movie though, The Matrix, it did make you think like, are we living in a simulated type world? Are we being controlled by a computer and we just don't know it? We're not awake, Fantastic movie. I mean, you cannot ask for a better movie than The Matrix.
And we also have an audio recording from Alex from Facebook.
The thing that was most impressive to me about The Matrix wasn't necessarily the bullet time or the kung fu fights on wire. It wasn't the hallway gun shootout. It was more the concepts that it introduced. Like when Agent Smith tells Morpheus that that humans aren't really mammals, they're more like viruses where they change their environment to suit their own needs as opposed to adapting to the environment. That was crazy. That was like, wow, that's kind of true. Yeah, and, learning kung fu through a plug in the back of your head, that was pretty awesome too. But in the end, I think it was a love story when Trinity tells him that on his deathbed that she was going to fall in love with a dead man, and he comes back and kicks the Matrix's ass with his Superman powers. That was pretty awesome. So yeah, The Matrix was pretty much a masterpiece in all its forms. And that's it. Thanks.
And then on Twitter, we had a couple of responses. So one from the podcast Film Shake, which is a 90s movies podcast. They mentioned that because of Columbine and the Trenchcoat Mafia and movies that make kids, violent, all those myths, they had ID'd for that movie when he went to go see it. At the time, he was 17 and his cousin was 15, so they had to buy one ticket for The Matrix for him, and then bought one ticket for Ed TV for his cousin, and stuck him into the movie, and it was totally worth it. Another podcast called Mouse and Weens had mentioned that the overplayed dodge the bullet backwards bend in slow-mo that's been done in so many movies, that they loved it at first and the second and third time too, but then it was everywhere and they became quite easily to hate it all.
Yep.
It was, people take those special effects and just run with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Going back to a previous comment about the trench coat mafia and stuff like that. So I remember when I saw this movie, I immediately yes, I want to be Neo for Halloween. And then Columbine happened, I think, a month later. I'm trying to think back to some other films that, people latched onto as being the reason for some violent act or some terrible occurrence. And especially with the Columbine one, that they blamed the movies, they blamed video games, they blamed Marilyn Manson. And it's just blaming everything, all the media. And I'm trying to remember a time before that a movie was somewhat being blamed for some despicable act. And I for some reason, I can't think anything before The Matrix that stands out in my head. Do you guys have any?
No, not that I remember.
Not movie-wise. I know,
video games were always
music-wise. There's been a ton of stuff between, like in the 80s, trying to get the, that whole parental advisory group thing going. To earlier on to Black Sabbath and all their stuff,
Yes.
Listening to Sabbath, makes you do evil things and stuff like that. But as far as movies go, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
All right. It was just something that popped in my head, and I was wondering because it just seems like that's just one of those things that people latched onto, was that the Matrix and all the violence and all just kind of it triggered people, which
I just think it happened to coincide at that time frame, and they were looking for somewhere to point the finger. I mean, look at like you said, they blamed Marilyn Manson, they blamed video games, they blamed The Matrix. I mean, there's no correlation to that.
Right. I was just curious.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to turn on the time machine for a second here and go back to last episode when we were talking about what we're going to do for over-under for The Matrix.
Oh, God.
I forgot what we talked about.
Of course, you forgot what we talked about, but I remember Spaz getting me a lot of shit for only having 3 questions.
Oh, God. What'd you do, Tim?
So,
oh, God.
For over-under on Matrix, I have 96... No.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I have 8 questions.
Wow, I thought it was going to be more than that, but all right.
Look what you did.
I had to go for it, man.
Hey, I would have gone for more, but whatever, you slacker.
I believe you said 18 at the time, though, didn't you?
Yep.
You did say 18, but I thought 8 was enough.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good middle ground.
I don't like to have.
Let's see how these 8 questions go, and then we'll decide if that's a good.
I'm going 0 for 8. I guarantee it.
I would love to see that.
I mean, at that point, it's just him actually putting an effort to get 0 for 8.
It is.
That's what I'm shooting for. So let's see what happens.
All I know is I'm sitting here and I keep remembering more and more quotes now that the movie's coming back to me.
What you got?
Oh, I'm remembering the whole movie now. And I was like, oh. But,
Mr. Anderson.
No, the best one I know so far that always made me laugh was the one where he's like, how about if I give you the finger?
Yes.
And you give me my phone call?
Yes, that's a good one.
So, I don't know if you guys remember, but that scene, for some reason, Keanu Reeves giving the middle finger, it just looks weird.
It looks weird, and then everything that happens afterwards is just like this weird, like, horror aspect, if you will, of the entire movie. Like, yeah, the movie has creepy stuff, if you will. I guess if you want to call it creepy, but not so much horror-esque. And that was such like a weird, like, body horror scene between like the melting mouth and like that
bug
creature thing, that like goes inside him and yeah. I mean, technically, I think they called it a bug, as in quote unquote bug,
Yeah, he's
being bugged. Yeah. Except they look like a
shit,
centipede.
that thing's real.
Except they look like a centipede mated with a crawfish.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
But for some reason, every time I see that scene when he's giving the middle finger, he just looks funny giving the middle finger. I don't know what it is.
It's his body movement when he does it. It's just like,
I think that might have been his first time giving the middle finger to somebody because he's such a nice person.
He's such an adorable man.
like it's just like watching him get angry, like in the John Wick films and stuff. It's like it seems.
It's not him, man.
It seems forced, but like I'm fine with it because I absolutely love the John Wick movies.
Yeah,
and pretty much anything Keanu Reeves is in. But it's such a. I think it's hard for him to play a hard ass, like you said. He's such a nice guy, but he does it so well. He's been in so many action films.
I mean, Dana, you love Keanu Reeves, don't you?
No.
Wow, just another thing for me to resent Dana for.
Seriously.
As a person, yes, I like him. He's great. I think he is one of the
Don't say it.
overrated Hollywood actors. Though.
Just digging a hole.
Again, Tim, you married her. Why?
Good.
It's okay. I think you can blame my dislike of him on
Because of
everybody comparing Tim to him in high school. That ruined it for me.
No, Tim's Jim Carrey. Always.
That's a whole nother. We could do a whole podcast on that.
Tim is Tim. Like, we'll just leave it at that. Like, not Keanu, not Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
looking at it right now is got.
Yeah, but everybody did it, and it really started to irk me and annoy me a lot. So
I did get that a lot in high school.
You did.
Comparison.
It was so annoying.
so say irk and annoy in high school in the same
hair.
sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Your hair looked like that. That was about it. But, you even kind of embraced it for a while, too, if I remember correctly.
You enjoyed it.
Excellent.
There you go.
Can't wait to watch Bill and Ted.
Yeah, good.
Awesome, dude.
So anyway, let's do this over under business because we got 8 questions and we'll be here all night.
Dun dun dun.
And the first question I wanted to ask was a question that Chris told me not to ask, so I'm going to ask it anyway.
Terrific. Let's go.
So let's go. During the dodge this sequence, when they're breaking Morpheus out of the building and they're on the roof, and the agent approaches Neo and starts shooting at him, how many bullets were shot at Neo during that scene? And I set the bar at 7.5.
Once again, how we shooting half bullets here?
Jesus Christ, Portrait. Why do we got to go through this over and over again?
Because decisions were made that don't make sense.
The hook makes it difficult. You can't push. There's no push.
I'm going over.
Thanks, Dana. Thanks.
I'm not going to forget this every time.
Well, stop being stupid.
Quit making halvesies on whole number things.
Dude.
I'm asking, is it more than 7.5 or less than 7.5? It's not 7.5.
It's such an arbitrary thing. I will die on this hill.
Tim, I'm going over.
I'm going under.
Chris is under, and Dana and Spaz are over. All right.
Dana, that's 0 for 1 for us.
Woohoo!
Are you trying to lose?
Kind of. This is my thing now, Tim.
All right.
I'm stuck with it.
All right. Dan has embraced his role of suckage.
I'm a big fat eater.
Well, now.
Anyway. So, next question is, how many times does Agent Smith say, Mr. Anderson?
God.
And I set that at 8.
And a half. There it is. I'm going to go over again.
I'm going over as well.
I'm going to go under.
Are you going under because you think that's the right answer, or under because you don't like anyone else's response?
I actually think it's the right answer, and also out of spite.
I'll take it. All right. Next question. How many guns does Neo use in this movie?
Jesus Christ.
And I set that at 13.5.
I just want to see the half gun. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
He just
Not you two.
He pulls it out of his jacket. He's like, oh. Where's the other half of my gun? I must have got stuck in the Matrix. Loading.
Oh my god.
I'm going over.
The theory.
I'm going over as well.
I'm going under.
Now you, Dana, is that because you think it's under, or just you don't want to
Because
be...
I have not the slightest idea.
We're gonna need guns. Lots.
That is my legitimate guess. That's
There you
we're
go.
going.
Do you
The
know?
quotes just keep coming, man.
Do you know how to fly a helicopter? Not yet.
Whoa.
I'm
That's the only
honestly-
quote I'm gonna go with. So
I'm honestly like excited for the fourth one or the sequel because 2 and 3 were never made.
I think it's gonna be fun. You know,
I'm pumped. Like
I know.
honestly, like I'm interested to see how they spin it, and I'm totally interrupting over and under, but like, yeah, I don't know.
This
2
is
and 3,
fucking new for us.
2 and 3 were just so, yeah.
See, I didn't mind 2. The third one was just so... That one was bad. I didn't mind the second one all that much, though.
yeah, the fight scene at the end of 3 I thought was kind of cool between him and Smith, but
That wasn't... Yeah, that was alright. But that movie just sucked.
I just don't think about those two. Question 4 is, how many times do we hear the word Matrix in this movie? And I set that at 27.5.
under.
You say that very unsure.
I saw this movie so long ago. I don't know.
How do you not
Right.
know how many times they say the word The Matrix?
Like, this feels like school all over again. Hey, remember the time you read that chapter about 2 weeks ago? I'm gonna quiz you on like what exactly happened on page 49.
That's how I roll.
I'm gonna go under.
And Tim would have gotten it right.
I'm gonna go under as well.
Oh, you guys are boring.
I mean, there's only one other answer to this, Tim. I mean, how much are we gonna mix it up here? I could say that I'm halfway going under.
I'm
I'm under 0.5.
Yeah, under 0.5. I'd like to bet $1.
Alrighty, question number 5. How many times does Neo get shot in this movie? And I set that at 12.5. Now that's literally getting shot, not him stopping bullets. It has to literally penetrate his body.
You did that on purpose.
You got a problem with the word penetrate? What's up?
I'm just trying to figure out how many times his body was penetrated. Over and over again.
I mean, if you want to get literal, his body is penetrated a lot with those jabby things.
Yeah.
Is that what we're
I
calling
think this is
it?
probably good. We just answer here and just keep going.
Toilet humor.
I don't even want to know where the half is coming.
All right, how many times is he shot by a bullet? That's 12.5.
God, man, this one's hard.
Under.
Yeah, like I feel under again.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm feeling it. I'm going under as well.
All right.
Shut up, Tim.
I mean, you get a 50-50 shot at the answer here, unless you're going to start incorporating like multiple choice questions here, like which is definitely an option later on.
Give me ideas.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, we do over and under, which is the name of the game. I don't think answer the multiple choice questions is as catchy as over under, but that's me.
10.5. I like it.
Tim's going to mail out Scantrons and have us fill it out prior to these podcasts.
Oh man.
Number 2 pencil, bitches.
Let me go dust the one I have left over from like college.
Alright, forget it. You guys are under. I don't care anymore. Question number 6. How many times do we see an agent get killed in this movie? And I have that at 5.5.
I feel like being different now. I'm gonna go over.
Uh-oh. I think this might not be good for you either, Tim.
Oh, I hate all of you.
I'm going under. I'm going under. There. God damn it.
I'm gonna go over.
I hope I get this right.
You probably do, I think.
I
So
don't know. It's been several years.
I don't know why.
Just picking shit now.
Well, I haven't seen these movies in like 20 friggin' years almost. So what do you expect? Of course, I'm guessing.
Next question. So apparently, Neo is sleeping a lot in this movie. So my question is, how many times does Neo wake up in this movie? And I set that at 4.5.
Over.
Are we? Never mind. Like he's sleeping. Are we also counting like when he
comes out of the Matrix?
Woken up, and I'm using air quotes here. Are we counting that, or is it like actual like, oh, I'm napping, or I fell asleep for the night? Not that he's awakening to the real world.
He's woke.
Yeah,
he's woke. Yeah, isn't that what the kids say these days? He's woke.
Yeah. No, I'm referring to him actually being asleep.
Oh, then I'm going under. Then
he's nighty night.
I'm going under switching.
Under switching is it?
I'm still going under. Oh no!
I'm gonna go over just because I'm feeling ambitious.
Overachiever.
Look, man, you wanted some diversity in your answers. Here you go.
Except I'm really not getting what I need. So
that sounds like something.
You guys do not fulfill me.
Sounds like you need to look at some more penetration questions.
I'll tell you about some good.
Nope. We're done here. Moving on.
Let me ask this last question.
It's called The Big Bang Theory and Wicked 2. Booyah.
We are not talking about that shitty TV show on this podcast.
I will punch you in the scrotum next time I see you. I swear to God.
Well, the coffee almost went all over the microphone. Thank you.
Okay.
Left question. It's mine.
Question 8. What is the total body count in this movie?
Tim is stupid.
I have it at 35.5.
I'm not answering this because I hate you.
I do have one question regarding this.
Love you, Tim.
Yes.
It says right there.
Do we let the bodies hit the floor?
Whoa! Something wrong with me.
I can't do it. The whole thing. Sorry.
Hey, here's a nice little segue. You're singing about Drowning Pool. That movie, The One, has like the entire Drowning Pool soundtrack.
Yes, it does.
So there's a correlation for you.
There you go.
Neo's The One. The movie, The One.
It's good stuff.
That's the only correlation there is.
Jason Statham, so good.
Anyway, total body count 35.5.
35.5. Over.
Under.
Over.
Oh God, thank God that's over. All right. All right, I got your responses. Now I know 8 questions is a little bit too much for you. Yeah. I'll find that sweet spot, and I'm throwing some multiple choice, true and false.
Fill in the blank.
Then it won't be over under.
Tim, I want more.
Over the under and things.
Over under, etc.
Ay. Okay. Well, so we'll watch that movie and see. And there's some things I need to clarify because most of the answers I know, but there's some I don't. So we'll find out. There's so much I cut out of the last recording, Dan. So much.
I bet. I haven't listened to it yet.
Of course you haven't. There's a lot of stuff I left in too. So hey-o. Anyway. So that's that. We'll rewatch that movie and we'll tally up the results and see who wins. Because I think right now Chris has 3 wins, Dana has 2.
I got 0.
Spaz exists.
Unfortunately,
barely.
But I do want to say there's something that I'm going to try to do with our listeners, and between now and the end of the year, I'm going to open it up for anyone else to participate in Over Under. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post these questions right before we launch the episode, and everyone has a short window to log in to the survey and play along with us. I'm going to keep track of how many people get right and wrong, and at the end, I'll do a raffle to start giving things away. I've already secured one offer from the platform we use to do a lot of our shout-outs and commissions, Ko-fi. They're giving away a 1-year subscription to their Ko-fi Gold so that creators like illustrators, artists, podcasters, whoever, can take advantage of all their premium features. So they're in on it. We have a Ko-fi Gold subscription so that we can do some of the commissions and other fun stuff. So it's very valuable. And my hope, I'm going to try to do this, but for every movie that we review, I'm going to have a little something from those movies to add to the raffle. So I already have some ideas and some people I'm going to talk to, but stay tuned for that. And I'm pretty sure I'm expecting 80% of the people to do better than Spaz at this game.
Can we raffle Spaz away?
Nobody wants me.
Like forever?
Unless for like target practice or something. Nobody wants me.
One night with Spaz.
Ew. I don't even.
We better get that refund.
Yeah.
Can you return our raffle?
Prizes are non-transferable.
Don't worry, I won't show up. I won't do that to a person.
Yeah, you barely show up to this podcast.
I try not. Trust me, I try not to.
Whatever.
I'm just glad he shows up to the first part of this and hasn't watched this movie.
Yeah,
yet.
right. It's those little things in life.
I almost did.
He hasn't watched the movie yet. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of movies at his fingertips, and he's itching to watch The Matrix suddenly again while we're doing this.
Because I haven't watched it in 15 years, and I'm psyched to watch it again.
You can wait 3 days.
No, I gotta wait until next Saturday, or I'm gonna forget everything.
Yeah, you're gonna watch it like while we're recording it.
Yep.
Most likely, yeah. Doesn't mean I'll remember everything because I'll be watching it.
You could be like me and just take notes, man. Just embrace your inner Asian.
The only notes I got in high school were from you. You took them for me, remember? I didn't take notes.
We did share a locker in 9th grade.
Yes, we did.
We had 3 people in one. It was ridiculous, but anyway. So let's jump into our nostalgia and do our score so that we can watch the movie and see how it has evolved. I'm curious, Dana. I want to start with you because you've been very hands-off with this movie, and I feel like you've been prepping me for this score. So let's just get it out of the way.
I am going to give it a 6.
Oh, God.
Reason being is not because
there's a flying middle finger.
I deserve that. Whatever. I deserve that. It's not because it's not a good movie. It is. I just don't feel like it is going to hold the test of time. I don't feel like I'm going to enjoy it as much as I did a long time ago. I'm hoping that will change, but I just feel like it's one of those movies that, though it's good, it is just, I don't think it's going to hold up. I don't know. That's just me.
So I can see that only because it's a sci-fi movie that takes place in some kind of future dystopian world, and most of those kind of movies do not age well.
They don't. And, I'm all kidding aside, I agree. I mean, I watched over the weekend, speaking of examples, my dad and I watched Escape from New York.
Oh.
I like John Carpenter. I like Kurt Russell. I did not like this movie.
That movie did not age very well.
It did not age well. Whereas, I can go pop in The Thing, which is within a couple of years of this movie, and I love the shit out of that movie. But like you said, these dystopian, futuristic sci-fi. I mean, hell, Jesus, look at Tron, the original.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Watching that, it was cool.
Exactly.
30 years ago.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're talking 21 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, I personally enjoyed the movie a lot. I know I've watched it many times, despite what my score for over under may be. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to have the same effect watching it again. Hopefully, I'll be wrong.
We will see. All right, got Dana down for a 6. I am. You might have to watch this one alone. Anyway, Spaz, how about you?
I'm gonna go with. I'll give it a 7.
Would you like to add a half onto that?
I was thinking about giving it an 8.
I like it.
7 and an 8, Tim.
0.33. Not rounding. You caused this. Just remember that.
I'm gonna go with pie. I'm gonna give it pie.
Everybody loves pie. There's no I in team, but there's an I in pie. Meat pie.
There is no pie.
No, yeah, 7's good.
So it's better than average, but not great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't have much else to say. You guys have basically said it all. We're gonna see what this movie's about, man.
It's about the Matrix.
It's about you shutting your mouth for once.
Ooh. Shut my mouth on a podcast.
You're not talking. Wait, is that what we're doing? Remember, Chris.
All right, I got a 6 for Dana, a 7 for Spaz. Chris, how about you?
I'm going to give this an 8.5. And the reason I am giving it such a high score is because it's one of those few movies that, like, when I first saw it, like, I absolutely loved it, even if I didn't understand it completely, because how crazy off the wall it is. But it was so different, and I think I really just enjoyed this, like, the action, how much, science fiction was added to it. I also appreciate for what it did as far as, like, the industry goes. I mean, like you guys touched on, how often does, like, the kung fu or like the wire fighting get made fun of, because it was so popular. I think this movie played a big role in how things were filmed moving forward. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an excellent movie. Not so much like the following two, but to me, and then the fact, seeing it when I did and stuff, I don't know. It was really cool.
All right. So I'm gonna have to balance Dana's score out a little bit here.
Here comes a 10.
Yeah. No, 9.5. Close. I'm giving it a 9.5 because for the longest time this was my favorite movie.
I thought it was All Dogs Go to Heaven.
No, that was mine.
Oh,
that and Oliver and Company. Yeah.
Why? That's like your thing now. Every episode, find a way to bring up Oliver and Company.
It's kind of like the Where's Waldo of the podcast. We just wait until Spaz brings up Oliver and Company.
It's about a pup, man. Gotta love dogs.
You and your dog movies. Anyway,
dude, hell yeah.
John Wick's a dog movie.
I know. That's why I loved it so much until they killed him.
Anyways, we cut off Tim. What was it, Tim?
9.5 because this movie is beautiful. To me, between it being kind of revolutionary in the choreography, the fighting scenes are excellent. The screenplay is so well written, and the dialogue is very smart that it blows my mind that this is the Wachowskis' second feature film that they have ever done. They got this big budget for The Matrix, and they pulled this off. I think it's astounding what they came up with, because it's an original story, and I love movies that are original because it seems like everything's based off of something or adapted by or a remake. This is a completely original story that is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to rewatching this and paying attention more to the dialogue because it has so many great quotes that I'm looking forward to it and forcing Dana to change her opinion.
Well, on changing my opinion, I'm going to still leave that disclaimer of I did really enjoy this movie a long time ago. It was really good, and I agree with most of what you're saying. I just don't think it's going to hold up. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's basically this podcast in a nutshell. We're going to see if it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
One of us is going to be wrong.
And get voted off the island.
No, there are no right or wrong answers. Everyone has their different opinions, and that's what makes it fun. But it's going to be fun to watch because it's for everybody except for me. It's been a long time, but we'll see. I think Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss put their careers in a trajectory that it just went straight up. So it'll be interesting, I think. So anyway, that brings us to an average score of 7.75, which is up there, probably in the middle of all our movies from our nostalgia. So we'll see. We'll shut down, we'll watch it, and we'll jump back on here and talk about why Dana's wrong. No, talk about the things that we noticed and have some fun. And there's so much trivia about this movie. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get into it, but regardless, let's have some fun, rewatch this, and enjoy it for what it is.
Dana, make sure you follow the White Rabbit.
I will try to. And I really hope that my opinion is changed on whether it holds up or not. I want it to be changed.
Take the red pill.
What if I like blue better?
How about green? Can we blend the two?
Ooh, I like green. It's my favorite color. What?
Yeah, can we make this like a multicolored here?
Tim's just getting upset now.
Like for example, if you take half the red pill and half the blue pill, and you blend them.
Oh, dude, that could be a trip right there, Chris. That'd be like taking acid, probably.
Right?
You're getting stuck in two worlds, man.
Exactly.
Well, we lost Tim.
Yeah, I think Tim did.
Wow.
Love you.
This gets uncomfortable every time we get together.
We're not
Deja-
together. This is a
Deja vu. Anyway, go watch the damn movie.
Yeah.